Hi Etaka, how are you?
Thank you very much. I'm doing okay.
Etaka is joining us from Cameroon. Welcome Etaka to Emerging Trends. If you're new to my channel, we have wonderful women like Etaka joining us on this platform, so do subscribe. So Etaka, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey?
So I'm Itaka Ejia, and I'm the founder of She's Cute. I'm a co-founder to the farmer. Uh, I'm an assistant lecturer at the Portabe University where I teach agriculture.
Okay.
And I'm a community builder. Basically, I love to empower women. I love to do activities related to agriculture. Talking about my journey, I began volunteering while I was still in the secondary school, and I never actually had a passion for agriculture at the beginning.
Okay.
When I was in Form 2, my mom lost her salary, and for 5 years, we had to actually go through some hard times. What selfish row, what selfish pie, these really little skills just to make ends meet. I never really understood what life was teaching me
Okay.
until when I got to the university, and in 2017, a strike, we call it the Anglophone crisis, and it's still on in Cameroon up to now, broke out, and young girls like me could not go to school. And that is how they tend getting pregnant, and they were unable to take care of the babies, and they were lazing about. And I began asking myself, what could I do to get these girls busy such that they will not get pregnant, they will not, drop out and just stay like that? And how can I help those who are already pregnant to be able to raise some income to take care of themselves and their babies? That's how She Skill began. It was because we realized many women did not have the skills that they needed to be able to start a business or gain some kind of employment to raise financial income for themselves and take care of themselves. So She Skill began like that in 2017, and since then we have been running different skill acquisition trainings, business trainings for women, and advertising female run businesses, basically.
Ithaca, that is a wonderful initiative what you're doing, and I think that is
Thank you
something
very much.
from women around the world require people like you to sustain themselves financially, and that is something which is very close to my heart as well. Anyway, so since we are talking about emerging trends, can you tell us what exactly kind of challenges you face post pandemic?
Before the pandemic, we used to have physical trainings. We never used to have really have a lot of online trainings. We had a few online trainings, but they were really few. And so now the pandemic has made it in such a way that we have to respect social distances, and it's kind of really challenging to have physical trainings.
Yeah.
So we have challenges being able to bring the people who have been not generally used to the physical trainings to the online space.
Yeah.
Change is something that is really difficult to bring, mostly for the kind of activity and the kind of people we deal with. And most of the time we deal with rural women. How do you bring rural women into the online space, you see? So it's been kind of challenging for us to organize our trainings really routine as we used to do with all the different kind of women we used to treat and deal with post pandemic.
So those are the short-term challenges. So can you tell us a little bit more about what are the other short-term challenges you have been facing post-pandemic?
Also, when it comes to my agricultural activities, I face challenges getting the inputs I
Okay.
need to be able to run my activities. Becky, we always used to get the fertilizers, the insecticides, and all the majority of the inputs we use in our farms from China.
Yeah.
And because of the pandemic, the borders were closed, so we cannot really get stuff from that from outside. So it's the little amount of it which has gotten into the country is really expensive for us to buy, and it's really really challenging for us as
Okay.
farmers.
And Ithaka, do you think that what are the long-term challenges your agribusiness will have in the future post pandemic? Because I think we are not looking at any normalcy so soon. So
To me, well, I've not really looked at that. But if there's one lesson this present pandemic has taught us, is the fact that we should try local, will I call it local methods of doing things, local but sustainable methods of doing things. For example, if we come up with sustainable and kind of organic stuffs around us, the plants which we have, to be able to generate organic pesticides and organic fertilizers to use in our farms, it will mean that even if a pandemic like this should come up again and the borders are closed, I will not bother about China not getting fertilizers to us. I'll be able to manage with the activities and the natural and local inputs I'm able to get from here. So basically, it's, if there's one thing it's teaching us, is that you should always be on a continuous research, trying to find out better and sustainable ways of doing things in your own local area without getting to involve outsiders.
So, Ithaka, since you're talking about sustainability, can you tell us a little bit more about the kind of agriculture business you have? Is it a sustainable business? And I understand that you are a big promoter of women empowerment. So, are you employing all women, or do you want to employ all women in the future?
Okay, so I'm really involved in so many agricultural activities, like a really wide range of it. I cultivate mushrooms, I cultivate snails, we produce plantains and transform them to plantain flour. We cultivate cucumbers, we cultivate a little bit of vegetables. So basically, I'm involved in the whole value chain when it comes to agriculture, but with some particular kind of crops, if you would like to say, and we produce, we transform, and then we market at our local level.
Yeah.
Talking about empowering women when it comes to agriculture, I've always been organizing trainings, mostly when it comes to mushroom cultivation, because we call it farming without blisters. That's one of women in Africa, women in Cameroon, which is my community, do not really look at agriculture like so to get into. Those who do it are the real rural women, and they do it in really good ways. So I try to help them come up with better methods of cultivating their crops, which are sustainable and can increase the amount they get. And for those who are the modern girls, or the city girls in quotes, who do not really love agriculture, we get them to learn mushroom farming, which is a lot more easier and a lot more flexible and comfortable to do. Yeah, so I involve them in the training activities and stuff. But at the moment, we don't have so many girls employed in my startup. Yes, when it comes to agriculture, but we are looking forward to having them. We keep inspiring them. We keep making them see reasons why agriculture is something they should get into, and we keep training them on the little skills we could help them get, so that they see how easy it is and how fun and loving it is, and they can get into it.
Very true. So I'm going to just a little bit talk about your future, and what are you looking at for you in future, and what are the future scenarios you're looking in agribusiness. I think it is very important for all girls to join agribusiness, because if they are coming from farming families, it is sort of inbuilt in them, and that is something they already have in themselves. So only thing is that they just need a business model. So what is it for you, your future scenario? Can you talk about that?
The future scenario when it comes to agribusiness, I'm looking more at urban kind of agriculture, or if you would like to call it vertical agriculture, given that we are slowly, the European countries, the US are already involved in that because they're taking up all their lands, and it's slowly getting to Africa. We are slowly using all of our land for construction of houses and construction of goods. And at some point in time, the amount of land that is going to be available for cultivation of crops is going to be really small. So you want to be able to use a small piece of land to produce a larger quantity of crops. And that can only be possible if we're doing what we call vertical agriculture, which you can grow vertically. So I'm looking at getting to that in the future, having to grow more crops using the vertical methods of production. Yeah.
So, creative de-risking is a post-pandemic concept. So, what's your take on it, and do you want to comment on
It's not something I'm really versed with, so I'll choose not to talk much about it. But if I'm to try out, I would say it's something that is really necessary. You have to be continuously be creative to get into things that you are doing. But it's a continuous process of creativity, right? And if you're going to take risks as an entrepreneur, it's necessary to take risks. We take risks all the time.
it? Right.
But to be able to take that risk, you have to be creative enough to know the right strategies and the right procedures to use while taking that risk, so that it does not turn out to be faulty or something that you're going to lose a large amount of money. So basically, I think it's an important concept and it's really necessary, because if you are quite creative and you are thinking, you would have real business and smart minds that forecasted a scenario like the pandemic at the moment, and would have been creative enough to have strategies put in place already before the pandemic came in, which is a risk. And so when the pandemic would have arrived as it is now, they will not have challenges to go through it. So that's the highest I can say about it.
Yeah.
It's not a concept I'm really versed with.
So, thank you so much, Etaka, for being on this platform and taking out time to speaking with us. If you're new to my channel, we have wonderful women like Etaka coming on this platform all the time. Thank you so much, Etaka.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.